Criminal defense attorney Anna Yum is here to break down the murder scandal. That's happening right after the break at 7:22. We'll be right back.
Well, the case of South African Olympic athlete has gained national attention, of course. So joining us this morning is criminal defense attorney Anna Yum with more on this murder scandal. Good morning.
Good morning, Tom. Nice to see you.
It's great to have you back.
Before we start, though, I just have something for you.
What is this? Oh, it's a makeup kit. Is that what that is?
No, it's not an Academy Award. It's not a makeup kit. But I know that you're leaving soon, and we here in San Diego just love you to death, and we wish you the best of luck.
Thank you so much.
Michigan.
Well, that was very sweet. So what is it? What is this?
Well, I heard that you love cigars.
I do indeed.
So this is just a small token of appreciation for having me on all the time,
we love having you on, and now that you've given me these, we love you even more. Well, I'm going to bring you out to Michigan with me. Well, thanks, Ann. I really appreciate that.
Absolutely. Best of luck to you.
Thanks so much, and I look forward to these as well. Let's get to Oscar Pistorius.
Yes.
His trial. Obviously, this is a case. He's just freed on bail.
Right.
What was the evidence that really you believe? Because this was a long process of deciding whether or not the magistrate was going to let him go out free on bail. What was the real piece of evidence that you think was key to allow that?
Well, I think really what it came down to, Tom, was that the judge was concerned about two things: flight risk and whether Oscar Pistorius demonstrated a propensity of violence. And I think that the judge was not convinced that Oscar Pistorius was going to be a flight risk, because basically what he was saying was, listen, he's this world-renowned athlete. He's probably one of the most famous athletes in South Africa. People know him. And not only that, but he has to get around with his prosthetic devices. So the judge's reasoning was it's going to be very difficult for him to get out of South Africa, especially in light of the fact that he's so recognizable and also with his prosthetic devices. And also there was no history of violence. There were some allegations that perhaps he threatened violence upon someone else, but Oscar Pistorius did not have a criminal history.
Right.
And I think that the judge was really swayed by that, because the judge gave a very reasoned opinion. It was about a 2-hour-long opinion, and he was saying that the law of South Africa, the things that he was looking at in terms of the bail, and he said, you know what, I don't believe that he is going to flee, and I don't think that he is going to be a danger to society. So, of course, the magistrate imposed certain restrictions, which is very common.
Sure.
He has to check into law enforcement twice a week.
Twice a week.
Right, and he has to surrender all his passports. So I think that the judge was convinced that he wasn't going to leave.
It doesn't sound like he's going anywhere. It doesn't. It'd be very hard for him to do that.
Right.
You look at the case itself. I mean, it really has the country of South Africa split down the middle. There are those who support him, they believe his story or his attorney's story, that he thought it was his girlfriend in the bathroom, and those who don't believe it, split right down the middle. When you look at this evidence, though, for what you've been able to see, obviously you don't have access to all the evidence, but the story he first told, saying, I didn't do it, I didn't shoot, and then he comes out and says, well, actually, I thought it was my girlfriend in the bathroom, and I thought it was an intruder. It turned out to be my girlfriend. What do you make of the stories?
Right, well, I think that's why it's so sensationalized, because there's two potentially plausible stories, right? The prosecutor is saying he knew that it was the girlfriend. There were neighbors that said that there was an argument, an hour-long argument in the wee hours of the morning, and then they heard gunshots, and then they heard her screaming, right? And then, of course, his defense team is saying, no, South Africa is one of the most dangerous places in the world. A lot of residents have firearms to protect themselves. He was a victim of burglary in the past. He gets wakened up in the morning. He's trying to close the doors of his patio balcony. He hears something. He freaks out, and he goes and he starts shooting at the bathroom because he thinks it's an intruder. So I think what it really is going to come down to, Tom, is the forensic evidence, right? As a lawyer, you have to see both sides. And I think that because there's just not enough time yet for us to see what's going on in terms of the forensic evidence, it's too quick to speculate. Because if you think about it, there's that bloodied cricket bat that people are talking about. Well, what about the autopsy? Is there evidence to support that Miss Steenkamp's head was bashed in or that her skull was cracked?
Which is the allegation, correct?
Right, which is the allegation. And also, what about the entry wounds and the exit wounds? And what about any kind of bruising on her? Did she have any kind of defensive wounds on her body? How far away was he when he allegedly shot into the bathroom? So these are things that we're going to have to look at, and as time passes, I think the forensic evidence really is going to play a key role in determining, is he telling the truth or not?
Well, you have great perspective because you've been on both sides of this as a former prosecutor and now a defense attorney.
Right.
So, Anna Yum, thank you so much for your time.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
And thanks for the cigars. I look forward to that.
I wish if I smoked some, I would have some with you.
Okay, well, maybe you could start. We'll work on that. Anna Yum, thanks so much. Appreciate it.
Thanks so much, Tom.